I opened my eyes and I realized there was a fire, and Debbie was screaming, "It's a fire, there's a fire."
In rural Iowa, early on the morning of February 11th, 1986, a fire broke out in the small mobile home of Kevin Thompson's family. His two young boys slept in one room. He, his wife, and baby slept in another.
Over the fire, I could hear my boys in the other room screaming. And they were screaming. They were screaming for their daddy. They wanted their daddy. And they were afraid. In a matter of seconds, I was out of bed running into the hallway with my wife behind me. And so I yelled for Debbie to get Russell, and I can barely see her. And the next thing I knew, I was outside of the trailer in the back porch area, and a wall of flames was coming out of the door, and my wife wasn't behind me with my baby.
Despite repeated attempts to get back into the trailer, Kevin was blocked at every entrance.
The front room was being consumed with fire, and I couldn't hear my boys anymore. All I could hear was the fire.
In the end, Kevin had to be physically restrained to keep him from entering his collapsing trailer.
And I decided right then and there that I would hate God for the rest of my life. I would hate everything about him. I would hate everything that people told me. I would hate the idea of God being someone who would let this happen.
After Kevin buried his family, he took a journey to bury the pain and anger of his loss. He wanted a change in his life, and he was willing to go anywhere and do anything to get it.
At first, what I did was I just drank and smoked and rode a motorcycle, trying to free my head up of thoughts. And I just tried to figure out why I was alive. My anger was so much with God and so much with the fact that I felt that he didn't care.
Over 20 years of drinking, drugs, and the biker lifestyle could not give Kevin what he wanted: relief from the pain of his family's deaths.
That wasn't just the year after. That was 22 years of waiting for February 11th, dreading the day, living it over and over and over again. The deep down, wake up in the middle of the night crying so hard you can't breathe and your heart feels like it's going to explode. And I did that for 22 years.
It was February 10th, while building a fire. He once again revisited the tragedy.
In an instant, I threw a board on the fire. In an instant, I was back into my trailer with the walls of flames in my eyes and burning me, and my boys screaming.
Kevin repeatedly struggled with these images, and in desperation, he surrendered his life to Jesus Christ.
And I said, "Lord, please, please, take this pain. Take this anger. I'm sorry." And when I said, "I'm sorry, Lord, please," man, he picked me up in my spirit. And I went to church the next day, and I went up to the pastor and I told him, I said, "Do you know, for the first time in 22 years, I feel a peace that I never thought I would have in my lifetime, and I've given my life to the Lord Jesus Christ, and I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm just ready." It says, "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud."
Kevin found real peace, and the change in his life has been dramatic.
I was selfish with my pain. I didn't want to share it. And even though the Lord told me he would take it, I didn't want to give it up. I guess the biggest thing is just ask. Ask the Lord to take this pain away, and he'll prove himself to you if you honestly open your heart and ask. And it's the most exciting thing that can happen, and you'll never be the same again when you're done. That I need to do. Yeah, I need to get old Jimmy.
It's pretty amazing. pretty amazing. Here was someone who didn't want to go to church, and now he's someone who can't stop talking about the Lord. And it really puts me in awe of what God is capable of doing in people's lives.
Once you surrender your life to the Lord, what's exciting is if you let Him plan your path, and there's nothing out there, there's no drug, no alcohol, no sex, no movie, no anything corporate, no material thing. I would give everything up I have right now to walk with Jesus.